Hello. Welcome to another splendid edition here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Um, I want to say a big thank you to everybody that has been choosing that channel, that has been tuning into the channel, that has been a big contributor to the channel. It's an honor to consistently to be able to bring you the best of football analysis and content here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. It's an honor to consistently crave your indulgence and get your comments, have your reaction, and to have you here on this little family of us. There's still an ever growing community here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. But today, there's a lot to talk about. There is a reason why this is the huge resurgence that Chelsea have needed for a very long time. There is one question. There's a question of continuity. There's a question of consistency. There's a question of repetitiveness, and if really Chelsea can get to those levels. There's also the conversation of Kylian Luton Mbappe and the fact that he may be leaving, obviously, to Real Madrid. What are the truths? What are the details of Kylian Luton Mbappe's deal to Real Madrid? What is it with Chelsea? What can be done? What cannot be done? Where is the nitty-gritty of the club? Can we delve into them here on Fiifi-Manfred? We delve into there. Of course, we will touch a little bit on African Cup of Nations and what Nigeria and Ivory Coast have been able to do. The story of Nigeria, the story of Ivory Coast, the story of the fact that if you grow, if you develop, if you do your things right, you can do things right. If you have quality players, you can get things done right. So let us delve into the conversation. Let us have an honest conversation. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. If you've not subscribed to the channel, there's an opportunity for you to go pause the video, subscribe to the channel. It's imperative that you do so. Subscribe to the channel now and get all the notifications. Of course, turn on your notification, and in there, do choose all. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Let us get into the conversation. It's imperative that we get into it. First of all, is the African Cup of Nations. So yesterday, Nigeria were triumphant, Ivory Coast were triumphant. I remember I gave you in my post-match analysis, I brought you updates on Nigeria, but not on Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast yesterday won by a goal to 0 via Seb Haller. He was exceptional in everything that they wanted to do. Got a goals for them, played some good stuff in that game, and then Ivory Coast were able to qualify to the final. I mean, the date of the final is set is on Sunday. Ivory Coast versus Nigeria is a West African derby. It's a huge, giant, mammoth derby between the two West African nations. It's really about who wants us the most in the finals. Who manage the situation, who will be able to keep themselves in the game as long as possible, and who will be able to get the job done. So we'll give you all the updates. Victor Osimhen and Demola Lukman, the Nigerian team have done a yeoman's job, and of course, Ibrahima Sangare, Sheku Fofana, Frank Yannick Kessier, Jean-Michel Seri, Max Gradel, Evan Indika, Willie Bolly, excellent players in their own right, have also done a very, very good job for the Ivorians, and it sets the tone for that final in Abidjan on Sunday. So you stick and stay. We'll get you into all of that conversation, and then we go have the conversation of Kylian Luton Mbappe. So yesterday, Nasser Al-Khelaifi, in a statement, told the world that Mbappe and then Paris Saint-Germain. In fact, today, breaking news: Mbappe, Nasser Al-Khelaifi have decided on the future of Kylian Luton Mbappe. And according to Nasser Al-Khelaifi, people should just stay tuned, and it's going to happen. I mean, there's something that already Jules Lauren, Fabrizio Romano, Fabrice Hawkins, for a while now have opened up the worm of plans for almost everybody. And the fact is that Kylian Mbappe had proposals from Liverpool and other clubs in Europe. I mean, notable is of course Real Madrid, and that's the dream. I mean, the plan is to join Vinicius Junior, Jude Bellingham, Rodrigo Goes, Federico Valverde, and all the young boys at Eduardo Camavinga, all the young boys at Real Madrid, to try and start some sort of a Galactico, one team that's going to dominate the Spanish La Liga, especially given where Barcelona as a team, the fact that they are not getting their ass together, they are struggling to get results. It looks as if Paris Saint-Germain, Kylian Mbappe knows and believes that Madrid is the place to go. Of course, there are talks that he's going to take a reduced amount of wages in the amount of wages that he takes at Paris Saint-Germain. There are also talks that there are things that he had to his image right had to be checked. The fact that he still wants to come back to France and play in the Paris Olympic in 2024 this year, later in the year. They are all important parts of the conversation, and apparently Kylian Mbappe had discussed all of those stuff with Real Madrid. So it's on. Kylian Mbappe looks all but set. He's going straight to go and join Real Madrid. I mean, they've not broken the news. The news is not officially out, but it's going to happen. Javier Tebas said this also, according to Fabrizio Romano. And Javier Tebas says, I said it was around 50% some weeks ago. Now it's even more, 55%, 60% chance. Yes, I think so. Every day that passes, Mbappe does not sign the new contract with PSG, the percentage increases. And it is clear that Mbappe is not going to sign that contract. The contract is supposed to end in January, and they had arrived at an amicable solution to let him stay in January. But in the summer, he was going to go Paris to Real Madrid for free. And if you are somebody who has been following my work a lot of the times, you know that I've been saying this for a very long time now. The Paris Saint-Germain and Mbappe was definitely going to leave Paris Saint-Germain for free. And I'm very, very much convinced in my mind that this was a plan all along between Real Madrid and then Kylian Mbappe. Was to wait last summer, not go. January, sign a pre-contract agreement, not go, and you go for free. But then, of course, they'll find something for Paris Saint-Germain. It's excellent business from Real Madrid. Good stuff from them. They will be getting their man, and exactly so. He's the top dog in their ranks. They need him. He's an important player. So yesterday, in the conversation of Chelsea, I told you Chelsea went to play in the FA Cup fourth round. It was a big game. They were able to beat Aston Villa by 3-1. Their next game is against Leeds United. They are the only left London club in the team, in the competition. And it tells you how important it is. Chelsea already are in a cup final. Another cup final will be huge for the London-based club, especially given the circumstances in which the club are in. Given where Chelsea are, the inconsistency in the club, the fact that they keep on losing games, dropping points, conceding most game goals, being 12th, 11th on the block, or 12th, not showing any form of mettle. The fact that people are questioning Chelsea's projects and everything. Going to 2 cup finals will be very, very instrumental, very important, very huge in the context of Chelsea Football Club. Already, they've booked their date with Liverpool on the 25th of February this month, just 2 weeks away. It's a game that Chelsea want to do everything possible to get that all-important win. It is going to give them confidence. It's going to give them, confidence. It's going to give them everything that they want in their team. It's going to give them strength. It's going to give them something to fight for, knowing that they are not bad after all, be able to win a cup. So it's something that we are keeping a close hand on. But hey, yesterday in the game against Aston Villa, this is a big tactical analysis that you've been waiting for. I ran you through the tactical analysis. I went through my notes. I watched the game again. This is the tactical analysis versus Aston Villa, and this is the resurgence. If Pochettino sticks with the tactical setup, this is going to be the beginning of something huge for Chelsea Football Club. Do not forget, if he sticks with this, that's the caveat. This is going to be the beginning of something very, very excellent for Chelsea Football Club. Like I said, this is actually something that I think is the performance of the season so far. I mean, it was even better than that Manchester City game, where Chelsea drew, better than the Arsenal game. This is a performance that I think is Chelsea's best performance thus far. Of course, Chelsea went into this game in a regular 4-2-3-1. Chilwell, Bedashile, Diasasi, Malagusto, Enzo, Caicedo. Then up top, there was more fluidity up top. Cole Palmer, Conor Gallagher, Noni Madueke from the right, Nicholas Jackson. But then a lot of inside number 10s. The place where there was a lot of width was the other side, where there was Noni Madueke, where Ben Chilwell will rather move up to create the width for Chelsea. So it became more like a 3-2-5. I mean, in that shape when Chelsea were building up, because Malo Gusto is excellent at build up. Where Benjamin Chilwell pushed up, then Enzo Fernandez, Moise Caicedo were close to it. I mean, in this shape, the issues of the previous game were dealt with, because there was, I've said this several times, that football is essentially about spaces. It's about occupation of spaces, dominating of spaces, owning of spaces, and making sure that you take advantage and use spaces. And Chelsea were excellent at using spaces yesterday. They minimized the spaces as well. The players were in close proximity to each other. There was easy combination playing tight spaces to play out from a deep block and then to make things happen from build-up. And of course, Aston Villa, like always, also went in the 4-2-3-1. And very important to match that intensity of the game. One of the things that I liked was the 4-2-3-1 and the change in attack for me. And the fact that Jackson started on the left, it was very good. Now, having Nicolas Jackson starting on the left means that anytime Chelsea were going to go and were without the ball, they could just sit or press in a 4-4-2. Now, one of the issues Chelsea have had in recent games is wingers tracking back to help the fullbacks. It has been a big deal, especially for players like Raheem Sterling, who are seen as senior players, and they have to track back, they have to help. They were not doing those things. And it really, really helped with Nicolas Jackson dropping back to help the team. And the work rate of Nicolas Jackson, everybody knows. When he left the team to join Senegal, everybody knows that it was very, very important. It was lacking. It was telling on the team. This time, yesterday's game, he was important in tracking back. He was important in leading the press. So once it became a 4-4-2, Noni Madueke at the left hand side, right? Nicolas Jackson at the left. Then you have Enzo Moise Caicedo. Then up top was Conor Gallagher, Cole Palmer leading the press. Then you had a fullback over there. It made it very difficult for Villa to transition into the 3-2-5 to sort of overload Chelsea and then have numerical superiority from wide areas. Chelsea dealt with that brilliantly, and that really, really helped. And if you look at all of these things, I think I was excited. And one of the things that was also very telling in the shape that Chelsea employed in this game was the fact that the line was very high, using Desasi and then Benoit Bellachile. Chelsea played a very high line. And people are talking about Thiago Silva. People say, hey, why is that? Maybe Thiago didn't play because his wife, blah, blah, blah. All of these are all the field issues and not really important to the grand scheme of things on the field of play. But essentially, it's about pace. The fact that Thiago Silva lacks pace in his game, and whilst on the ball, he can be excellent. In the air, he can be excellent. Sometimes when you are without the ball and you're pressing, you want to have a very high line. You suffer because Thiago Silva doesn't have the pace. In this game, there was a very high line. Benoit Bellachile, Axel Desasi pushed up. Of course, for Chilwell and Gusto, they had already gone. So Chelsea could have a very good high line. They could have spaces and deal with the spaces even when the ball went in behind them. In Villa's 4-2-3-1, that resembles a 4-4-2 as well. Chelsea in possession were actually very flexible. And there were times I saw it in a 4-1-3-1, some sort of like that's where you will see the fullback, but with Enzo in front of them at the base, with Caicedo actually in front of them at the base, with Enzo slightly ahead of him, with Cole Palmer and Conor Gallagher, then the attacker up top. There was sometimes where it was also a 3-2 base, like I've said consistently, given how Chelsea were playing most of their games. And I think it actually really, really helped, given how Chelsea wanted to play. The base was good. It was a little bit fluid. It was not static. There was some form of diversity. They changed things left, right, and center in that regard. And I think it helped the team very, very well in that regard, in the middle of the park for Chelsea Football Club. And I think that the key part of the performance yesterday was Enzo Fernandez's performance and where he played. He played very close to the defense, where he was the first point of call in terms of build-up in front of the defense. And it made a lot of the difference. It made loads of difference in that double pivot that he played with Moise Caicedo. And one of the things I also saw was the fact that Benjamin Chilwell's role in this game was very important. Chilwell consistently overlapped, like I said earlier. He had the touchline. He played very well, stick to his strength. He made sure that he did a lot of overlapping runs. Then Enzo Fernandez will do the build up on the left hand side. Gusto, I told you earlier, is excellent at build up on the right hand side. At the left hand side, Enzo Fernandez will do that job, whilst Benjamin Chilwell will make very, very good overlapping runs in the end. I loved it, and I think that it helped the team very well. It helped the team in terms of confidence, the team in terms of build up. And the last time I saw this shape was against Manchester City at home, and I think it was very, very excellent. I mean, the ball carrying situation of Enzo Fernandez on the left hand side with Benjamin Chilwell going in was brilliant. Sometimes Chelsea would split up the two centre backs. Moise Caicedo would drop in between the two, and then play out from the back. It was some good stuff, some very, very good stuff in there for Chelsea Football Club, and I'm excited that they played that well. I mean, I think what is left, however, to be able to get the resurgence, it's about consistency. I mean, there have been patches. Liverpool home game in the first game of the season, you saw some of these performances. I saw it against City. I saw it against Arsenal. But hey, the problem of Chelsea has been lack of the consistency and how to do these things repetitively. I mean, from back to back to back, get this thing like a norm. That's been a big deal at Chelsea. And if Pochettino can get his players to have the same intensity, the same shape over and over again, while maxing the frailties of the shape with the qualities of the players, definitely they can go far. And I think that's important. It's the next step for Pochettino. There are no excuses. This is where he has to tweak things, he has to change things, and Chelsea need to build on from there. The next round of games coming up for Chelsea are very, very difficult games for them. Very difficult game for them. I'm not going to lie to you. If you look at Noni Madueke, he was good. His off the ball runs back to come and help the defense was one of the best I saw. And I think that they just need to be consistent. It takes time, but consistency. That is what is led to Chelsea Football Club. If they're able to get this right, then definitely they are going to be a club for the beating. My name is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. This is why I draw the curtain for you. Thank you very much for choosing me. If you're not subscribed like you always do, subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. Until then, adios. Bye.